Hey, I'm Nancy here with Umarex, and I've got the Komplete with me, sitting here, and this is our new revolutionary gun that's being released. It's pretty amazing, actually. So we've got the silencer. I'm just going to start at the front up here. Silencer moderator up here in the front. And those of you that have shot a bunch of our guns before, it's the same design that's on there. Keeps that thing nice and quiet, strips the air away from it, maybe improves a little bit of accuracy on top of that. As I tilt the gun up, you can kind of see the general design. This comes in a 177 caliber, and it comes in a 22 caliber. So the scope that you'll actually get with it is a 4x32 scope. You'll have an eyepiece adjustment up here to get it in focus. So if you wear glasses like me, you'll want to unscrew it as far back as you can until it comes into focus, and then it's got a locking ring. You can do that. Today, for this purposes, I put a 6x24 on there because the gun is actually capable. So when you're out there shooting, you can put a bigger variable scope on there, you get more distance out of it, and you're taking shots out to 65, 75 yards with this thing. So as we move back here from the front, we have what's called the Nitro Air, and this is it's like the 88 gram cylinders that you guys see, and I'll do a separate piece of this and explain about how nitrogen works on it. But this is a patent pending container that's up here in the front for the piercing mechanism, some other things that are inside there, but you cannot shoot. So a lot of you guys will look at the gun and you'll say, well, I can put an 88 gram CO2 cylinder on there. An 88 gram CO2 cylinder has less than 1,000 PSI, depending on where you get it from, has less than 1,000 PSI. Well, this gun here shoots at 1,600 PSI. And at 1,600 PSI, that's what you're getting per shot as it's firing the pellet out of the gun. Well, the Nitro Air cylinder here holds 3,600 PSI, which gives you approximately 45 shots out of it, 45 to 50, depending on where it is. You'll start to see the drop, you'll fire, and it'll be noticeable. Starts dropping about 1 inch every time, depending on your distance. So they're not refillable. You can hang on to them though, and use them for whatever you want to from that end of it. It's really easy to place them in here. All you're gonna do is slide this thing in at the beginning, and you'll screw it down until you hear a little bit of a hiss, and then you tighten it down, and you just wanna make sure you just give it a good grip and that it snugs back down, and you're ready to go. So I've left it in here, and you could load it up, leave it in there. If you need to leave it around the house, you got squirrels or varmint problems around the house, you can pick that up. Coming further down the gun, off the front here, to replace the cylinder, there's a little button here on the side. That's on both sides. So there's one on this side and one on this side. So you'll grab this and you can slide this off the end, and then that exposes the tank so that you can tighten this thing down and get it ready to go. And then once you have it tightened down, what this does is essentially protects this when you place it over the top, protects you from banging the cylinder. If you're hiking through the woods, getting something wedged in here where it's gonna pull the cylinder or put any undue stress on it. The cocking lever that we have on the side over here is spring loaded. So when you get ready to operate the cocking lever, all you have to do is pull it from here. You bring it about 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, and it pops up like this. And then you still have to put a little bit of pressure on it. You just hook it, pull it back, cock it, and then you can push it back down position, and it stays down there. So as you're going along, everyone's like, well, I think I need a hook on here to grab onto. You don't. If you just slide your hand down the gun till you get to this point here, the lever will pop right open, and you just continue from there, cock the gun, put it back in position. So it's got a left-hand feed magazine. So the magazine that we have for the 22 holds 10 rounds, and the magazine for the 177 holds 12 rounds. And so this one loads up here. The magazine, all you have to do to load it, you don't have to preload the spring or anything. All you have to do is drop the pellet directly into the hole here. On the back, it is open, so you want to put your finger over the back of this and then hold it here, and then as you drop a pellet in, you'll rotate it, drop a pellet in, rotate it again, and you'll do that all the way till it's full. When it stops, it's ready to go. The magazine is very simple. One of the questions that a lot of people get is like, how can I take the magazine out without cocking the gun? Well, if I let it loose from here, you can see inside the gun, I can actually just slide the magazine with it in the open position, and it's uncocked. I can slide it into position and load it. Now, when I push this forward, because it's got the probe on it, if I have not cocked the gun, it will actually push a pellet into the chamber. So at this point here, when you're ready to fire, this is in a safe position here. When you're ready to fire, finish cocking the gun, you push it forward, and now you have a pellet that's chambered in there, ready to fire. If you push it forward and then pull it back to cock it again, you push it again, you'll actually double feed it. It'll shoot a double feed out of it. So if you get if you accidentally get 2 in the chamber, it'll shoot a double feed. Just go ahead and fire it. It won't be accurate. It'll usually shoot 1 high or low. Not that I haven't ever done it before, but to double feed that. The other thing that I think is really cool, and it's kind of trending with the stuff that we're making, is putting the safety integrated down here on the trigger. So you can see the safety here. Right now it's on safe. If I push this little pin will pop out the other side. Now it's ready to fire. So if we're out here, I pull the trigger there, ready to fire, push this back the opposite direction, it won't fire. So with that in place, all you have to do is push it back and forth. It's really accessible. You're not reaching with your thumb up somewhere to mess with that. Moving a little bit further back, you can see on the stock design, we have like a lot of texturing on there. Some of you guys might recognize this from our Walther brands that's out there, but it's got a really nice texture on the grip. It doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. This thing feels nice, and the design on the stock is like a PRS type design on the stock. It has this gun has a really, really solid feel. I can't, it's hard to describe to you on the camera, but it's just really solidly designed. It doesn't rattle. Things aren't loose and bouncing around. It's just really solidly designed. But this here, when you grab this to be able to shoot it, it just has a very comfortable feel. The length of the gun is nice. It's got good mobility, and it just feels very natural for this gun to be able to shoot. There's a little bit further coming back here on the cheek well, and a little bit of the, you'll see the texturing runs across here, and that kind of lines up where it'll touch on part of your arm there, and you can really snug that gun up. And just for aesthetics, they got it up here in the front. One of the things we did too, and that if you notice, all the guns that we're starting to come out with now are all going with the Picatinny rail on top. That allows for flexibility. So if you have different guns, you can just buy, Picatinny rail rings and put it on the gun. We're not trying to make it specific, each gun different. Those of you that remember, you used to have to go back to the old school, like weavers, and then we had the European mounts, and then you had to get adapters, and you're always searching around. Just Picatinny mounts. For this one, I would recommend if you go with the scope. So this one right here is a 6x24x50, and it's a 30 millimeter. So if you're going to shoot that and have the magazine clearance to be able to fit into the side of the gun on this side, you're going to need to go with at least medium rings to be able to elevate that enough to be able to sneak it in. So that'll allow enough for the magazine to get underneath, and that way you still have clearance if you're using the parallax adjustment on the left side as it works from there. But other than that, the gun, I think the general feel and grip from this, I think most of you guys will find this comforting. When you get ready to shoot the gun, it's pretty natural shouldering ability. And on top of that, if you're teaching young kids to shoot and things, you can also take them out with this. Is a great gun to be able to do that. But the biggest benefit of the factor is we've cut the cable, so you don't have to, the air tank, you don't have to haul it around. If you always wanted to get into PCP, all you have to do is go buy a Komplete, and it's got everything you need. All you gotta do is buy the cylinders, your pellets, and it comes with a scope, and you'll be out the door. It's a sub $200 gun that you'll find out there, and for a sub $200 gun, I can tell you right now, the performance of this thing is pretty mind-blowing. Pretty much, if you're buying a backyard shooter that's out there and you want to get into PCP, and no more, you don't ever have to cock the gun anymore. All you have to do is screw in the cylinder. 45 shots later, when you're empty, just go ahead and add another cylinder to it, and put your pellets in it. So with that, I think that's just a good generalized overview of the gun, and I'm super impressed with it. So I've been excited for this one for quite a while. We've kept it under wraps and put it together. But this is the Umarex Komplete, comes in 177 and 22. I'm Iden Hansen with Umarex. Fort Smith, Arkansas is our home. You guys have fun slinging lead.